Hello and welcome to the NWC show, guys. It has been ages since I've actually been on the channel. I've no really, I've not done any content for a year, and prior to that, didn't do any content for a year and a bit before that as well. So, I want to start the channel again. Took a little break from watching wrestling after I started the channel back up last year. Kind of load of stuff happened, so kind of changed what I was doing. But so we're here today to review Wrestlemania. That's really what we're here for. Reviewing Wrestlemania, talking about NXT, talking about the IWC, which we need to talk about as well. But yeah, Wrestlemania overall for me, I enjoyed it. I enjoyed it from NXT all the way through to last night. I did. NXT was good. I sat and watched it with my kids. Both of them enjoyed it. My little girl really enjoyed the women's ladder match and the women's fatal four-way match that they had as well. I've seen a lot of people online saying that it wasn't as good as what it could be, but that's what she enjoyed. For me, NXT I thought was a good wrestling show. Isn't the best? And that goes for the whole WrestleMania, just as we preference it. It isn't the best WrestleMania in the world, but it's far from the worst WrestleMania that we've ever had, and far from the worst wrestling show we've ever had. But yeah, NXT wise, like I said, the kids loved it. That was cool to see. It's cool to see them start to enjoy wrestling more. WrestleMania wise, there was good matches. There was shit matches, as you would expect. There was those toilet break matches. There was interesting stuff to see. Highlights for me were the first night main event. Seth, CM Punk and Roman Reigns was fantastic. It was a match of the weekend for me personally. I loved the Dominic Mysterio match as well. Him getting that belt was done really good. Drew and Damian Priest was cool. I loved the entrances because I'm a big Doom fan, so it was cool to kind of see that. I'm a Slayer fan as well. I beat him in concert and stuff, so it was cool to see that too. The other thing is, throughout that card last night, every match was like Joe Hendry coming out against Randy Orton. I thought was done really good as well. Sets up for a match in the future when Joe Hendry eventually comes over to WWE from TNA. But the main event is the big talking point that everybody was going on about. And Cena get the win by the Travis Scott interference that everybody's mourning about because The Rock didn't come back, didn't do whatever. For me, personally, I thought it was a good thing to happen. Was it the best main event? Was it how I would have wanted the main event to be? Would I have wanted like loads of different people coming along and running in and causing interference, similar to what we got last year? I would have enjoyed that, but they can't book two of the exact same style of matches 2 years in a row if you think about it. Then people would still moan about it and still be bitching as they are at the minute. But Cena getting the belt makes sense. Cody Rhodes can go away for a little bit, come back, challenge him again, and you've got this Paul Heyman going with Seth Rollins stuff, which is going to be fun. CM Punk still there, Drew McIntyre, Damian Priest. You've got a ton of stuff. And people are talking literally. I was on Twitter this weekend for the first time in X, whatever the hell it's called now. I was on it for the first time in ages, just to kind of have a little look at what the IWC is like, and it is embarrassing to see how that internet wrestling community crowd that was really, really positive. There was obviously still negative aspects and stuff like that, but during COVID, when SCW Steve, who I know is still doing just now, and a whole bunch of other guys were making content, and we watched all collab together and stuff. And I were moaning. I'm the last person to say that WWE at the minute, or for the past like 10 years, has done anything, longer than 10 years, has done anything relatively as good as what they've done back in the 90s and early 2000s. I'd be the first person to tell you that wrestling is better for me than what it is for today's wrestling. But it's enjoyable for everybody. And you look at the IWC crowd and it is just hatred for everything that WWE does. And that I'm going to be the positive Susan in the matter here. I think the IWC is the problem with wrestling at the moment. If you look at WWE, was it, as I'll say a million times, this wasn't the best WrestleMania ever. This wasn't the, I won't go back and watch the matches on it all the time the way I would do with a classic style pay-per-view from when I was a kid and stuff like that. I'll go back and watch them because I have fond memories for it, and for me the wrestling was better. But am I going to do it with this one? No. Did I enjoy the weekend? I've sat and watched wrestling all weekend for the first time in ages. Yes, I had a great time. I watched it. But the minute you go on Twitter, and it's the minority of people are liking wrestling at the minute. And if you were to go onto X and TikTok or Facebook or anywhere, you would see that wrestling at the minute is being just diminished. Everybody hates it, and you would appear that this is the worst product on the planet. Can't watch this. This is going to be terrible. And then people are still going, that barely anybody's watching wrestling. Well, of course nobody's watching it because the minute it's on social media, everybody tells them it's shit. It's kind of, it's an oxymoron of it. But anyway, going on to Twitter this weekend, seeing how negative the IWC is, coming from me, from the guys that know my channel, coming and how I moan about how shit. I remember doing daily reviews during COVID and watching Nia Jax versus Lana like 6 weeks in a row, and it was bad. So I know the negative stuff. I know how bad it can get. This is by nowhere near as bad as it is, but you go onto Twitter and you see people moaning, acting as if this is the worst wrestling show they've ever seen in their life, that shouldn't even be on. People telling them how WWE should book it, how WWE don't know how to make money, and it's just embarrassing. I mean, you all know what IWC and Twitter, X, whatever the platform's called now, is like. It's an embarrassment, and I genuinely don't think wrestling would be in the position it's in if it wasn't for that. Now, I remember being on wrestling forums back in the day, 2004, 5, 6, 7, stuff like that, and seeing the people that are on Twitter now that'll tell you that match was fantastic back then, were bitching about that match back then as well. The ones saying that Cena put on a 5-star match 2008 were wanting Cena dead in 2008. I mean, it's the same round and circle moaning IWC waste of horribleness that you always get. And I just can't deal with that anymore. That negativity and stuff for wrestling just isn't for me. Watch what you like, don't watch what you don't like. It's as simple as that. But the problem is, I've got young kids. Oh, young. One of my little boys he's got to turn 10. My little girl's just turned 9. So they're still young, relatively young. But you look at these guys, these kids coming in and watching wrestling and catching the bug. Do you know what I mean? Obviously, it isn't going to be as big as a hype push as what last year was. Do you know what I mean? It wasn't like this was John Cena's last retirement match. If it was a retirement match, I'm sure it would have had a better push than what they had at the minute. But it is what it is. We go with what it is. We watch the show. They watched the show. They enjoyed it top to finish. They enjoyed stuff that I even thought was terrible. They enjoyed stuff that you saw coming a mile away, and they were surprised. They were reacting to what was happening in the matches, and it was great. It was great to see them be like that. And sorry guys, and it was cool to see that 9 and 10-year-old kind of get into wrestling again and start to fall in love with what I think is one of the greatest sports on the planet. But again, if these guys go on to Twitter, if my son and daughter was on X or were on Facebook or TikTok or whatever, and the way the people talk on there, for the wrestlers that they like, they would be told that you shouldn't like that person, you're stupid, this match isn't good, you're liking the wrong matches. It's for kids. Now I get it's a sport that's for everybody. WWE does it perfectly. If you're in any sort of line of business, you would see that a billion-dollar company is obviously knows how to make money. Obviously, somebody on Twitter probably isn't going to know that, but they want everybody from that 9, 10-year-old. They want the teenager. They want the person like me who's watched wrestling their whole life and is kind of Disney really interested in the product as much anymore because it's no what they like. They want that older person, I know. They want everybody, they want the whole family to watch it. Then you turn your sights to somebody like AEW, who has just the one channel, one person, people like me, and that's what they want. And they're still fumbling that. So I don't know how they're doing it. But anyway, that's my wee rant on IWC and how much of a toxic community it is. But WrestleMania, what was your favourite moments from it? For me, I know my man on Twitter, called Mo, he was probably shocked as hell when it came to that Tony D turn. Tony D getting turned on and Tony D'Angelo getting turned on in NXT. I know he'd have been shocked with that. My kids were shocked with it, and the first time they've really seen him, which was fun as well. But the main kind of show, the main WrestleMania stuff, I enjoyed it. I sat and watched it. Did I enjoy every match? No. Did I go for a toilet break during like the Viking Raiders and stuff? Yes, because it wasn't matches that I wanted to see. Jey Uso winning the belt, I thought was great as well. This is the period that we all call WWE's down season. Between now and SummerSlam, they go in a little downward dip and then start to come up. Why not give the belt to somebody that you can use it, like a Jey Uso, or just give it to other people. Let other people try it, see how it works with them. There's got to be a period here, and then you keep your main belt period for your big season. Just a little down season stuff now. Jey Uso deserved it. He's over as hell. I know people don't like the geek stuff. I can't stand it, but my kids love it, and he's over with the younger audience as well. But that match I thought was good. There was nothing to miss of it. Was it the best match on the planet? No, none of them were the best matches on the planet, but it was good. Then you've got the women's match as well from night 2. Rhea Ripley, Io Sky, and Bianca Belair. I thought it was fantastic. Io retaining. I kind of thought that was going to happen. Ripley doesn't need the belt in a minute. She's a superstar. I've called that for years since she was away in NXT UK. Said she was going to be a superstar, so that was good. Then you've got your Charlotte Flair against Tiffany Stratton. Now, was that a fumble of a match? Kind of fumbled her way through it and getting hit, and it was a messed up match. It was a hard fought match for Tiffany to win. But seeing her with blood in her mouth, scrapes on her head, gives that little bit of believability to it. Everybody knows this will work, right? But it gives that believability to it as well for somebody like my daughter who loves watching Tiffany Stratton. She gets to see it and she goes, is this fake? This could be real. And that is the thing that everybody keeps forgetting. Just enjoy the show. That was a good match. I enjoyed it. Don't think it was the best match ever. Don't think it was the best women's match ever by any means. The triple threat the night before, the night after, sorry, like I say, blew it out of the water. But I really enjoyed it. That Heyman turn at the end of the night was fantastic as well. I enjoyed that. Paul Heyman turning the CM Punk, Roman Reigns, Seth Rollins kind of thing. I'm not a big Seth Rollins fan, but I enjoyed that match. Thought it was fantastic. I really can't. I want to go back and watch that one. That's one that I will go back and watch from this night. The street fight with Damien Priest and Damien Priest and Drew McIntyre, I thought was really good. I didn't think it's no life changing street fight stuff. Do you know what I mean? But it was really good and it was really fun. The Fatal 4-Way where Dominic picked up that win was just done great. It was a really good Fatal 4-Way. A lot of times Fatal 4-Ways miss the mark. You don't know. It always feels like you kind of something's missing from it. That one seemed to have everything, and it just really was a good. And the finish to it was good as well. I really enjoyed it. What else did I enjoy? The main event, John Cena, Cody Rhodes. You can say what you want. I don't think John Cena's never been the best wrestler on the planet. Him and Cody Rhodes going out, he's an older man now. Him and Cody Rhodes going out there and doing what they've done was fantastic. I thought it was good. Ending wise, I would have wanted 100% The Rock to come out. I'd have wanted other people who come running out for the save and it turn into this big battle. But we had that last year. Can he do it every single year? That's the problem. We aren't allowed. Can he have the same thing happen every year? Because knowing the IWC, I know that if WWE wrote this big thing, right, and if they done that, they would have went the exact same as last year. This is shit. If The Rock came out, they would have said it was shit because he didn't come out to say it's shit. It's the same stuff, and it's always been the same. But for me, WrestleMania, like I say, out of 10, if I'm going to give it a score, I'd say 7, maybe 6.5. It was okay. It wasn't amazing, but I did have fun watching it. I said I watched it with my kids. I enjoyed watching it with them. And the minute you go into Twitter, you start to think, do I even know what I'm talking about here? Is my opinion matter? Because all these people just tell you it's terrible. Everybody just wants to... And then says, well, like, while we're on the topic, right? AEW's coming to Glasgow, going to the Hydro, which is literally just across the road from me. Like I can pretty much see it. So it is a cool thing to have more wrestling coming to Glasgow. I hate the Hydro, it's a terrible venue, but it is cool having more wrestling come here. Am I going to go to AEW? Probably no, because I don't really want to watch it. It's not really a product I go out my way to watch. And when I do watch it, it's nothing really good. I've got a comment here saying John Cena is now a 17-time world champion and he's the GOAT. A funny story for you. I went and seen John Cena in a HMV in Glasgow after school. So it was when he brought out that CD, which I've still got somewhere in my house or something. It's sitting somewhere. I brought it on one of my other videos for 4 years ago or something like that. But I went to HMV and saw John Cena, and that was when I was like 13, 14. And I was wrestling at the time. So I was doing wee battle royales and whatever here and there. And I was starting to get more kind of wrestling with my friends and travelling and stuff like that. And I went to see him. And it just always stands out in my head because that night I went wrestling training and I was like, I can't wait to be in that position, which was obviously a teenage fantasy, but it was cool to think about it that way. And yeah, that was 2004. I would want to say 4. So about 20 years ago. So it's I say 20 years ago. So it's been a long time that I've been watching John Cena, and I agree with you that he is the GOAT. I've been through the point when John Cena was horrible, like he's just everywhere all the time, like that Hulk Hogan style, and you were like, this is the worst thing I've ever seen in my life. The ECW One Night Stand, the second one, when it was him against RVD, and people are chatting Cena wins with Riot, watching all that kind of stuff. For me, he definitely is the GOAT. He's been there consistently, always shown up, always gave to the fans. He's one of my favourite matches, him against JBL at the Judgment Day, like bloody and all that. I would agree with you. He is a GOAT. 17-time world champion. It was going to get broke. Ric Flair's record was going to get broke at some point, and it is cool to see that John Cena's now the 17-time world champion. Like I says, I'm not here to tell you your opinion is wrong. I'm not here for... But if you were doing this on X, people will then say that you're wrong, you can't do anything, you've wasted your thoughts, and do you know what I mean? It's just embarrassing. Like it's I might not agree with you saying that he's the best ever. If you were saying I agree, he's a great entertainer, and that style is good. Is he the best wrestler ever? I don't think so. But people would fight you to your death to tell you that you're wrong. So I'm not into that. I'm trying and ask guys like SCW Steve. My rants are epic. The channel's obviously coming back. I'm going to be getting into rants again soon. and it's going to be fun. But I'm trying to be positive here with WrestleMania. Is there stuff I could rant about? Of course there is. But it's WrestleMania. Let's just enjoy it for what it is. It's a coming together of just WWE's main point of the year, and it was fun. The whole weekend was fun. Even the Hall of Fame was good. Triple H doing his speech and that as well. Everybody posting pictures of people sleeping and stuff like that. If I watch an AEW show, I'll fall asleep because half of them don't even know what to do. I might see an independent show and some of them put on better wrestling than what AEW has at the minute. So let's stop bullshitting as if fucking the other can is trying to save the planet. He's really no. The thing that I think WrestleMania got correct was kids were excited for it. And before the Easter holidays here in Scotland, everybody at the gate, my son in my son's school, were talking about WrestleManias this weekend. WrestleMania's coming up in a couple of weeks. It's going to be good. Like who you want to win, and they were not talking about it. And they were talking about John Cena, talking about Cody Rhodes, and they were excited for it again, which is something that I've not seen in ages. And like AEW, I don't see anybody talking about that. But WWE, people were excited for it. And when they done Raw here again at the Hydro, people were interested in it. People were excited. It was sold out. Tickets were extremely expensive. The back row tickets were like £200, £300. I'm not going to spend. I had the money to spend on it, but I wasn't going to spend £200-300 on that when I can use them to buy a new pair of shoes or take my kids somewhere. I'm not going to waste that amount of money on it. I got to watch it on Netflix sitting here in the comfort of my own house while it was in the Hydro. With AEW, am I going to do that? No. And we've got people talking about, WWE's only getting viewed 2.3 million times on Netflix. WWE Raw is only getting viewed 2.3 million times. It's not bad. It's Attitude Era level. No, of course it isn't. It's not going to be Attitude Era level. Wrestling has been on a steady decline for years. But it's entertaining again. And I will say that I did bitch and moan about wrestling for years, and I will say that this weekend has been entertaining again. Now, like I say, I just went away from wrestling and didn't bother. I didn't watch any of it. Even went to Netflix and I watched my favourite match of all time, Owen Hart, Bret Hart, SummerSlam '94. It had like a weird colour wash over it that didn't look right, and then a lot of stuff was missing. Still a lot of stuff's missing. But they're adding more every month. WCW is getting added to YouTube. I started watching. It's a random match, a random WCW match was up. I think it was Ric Flair, Ricky Steamboat. I sat and watched that, and I was like, got a wee itch again. So I started watching. I actually watched WrestleMania 13, Stone Cold Bret Hart, and I was like, right, I've got the itch again. I went and watched some old, the ones that they uploaded to the YouTube, some of the old Thunders. Terrible wrestling most of the time, but I went and watched some of the old Thunders, and then it kind of brought me into WrestleMania week, and I watched the Raw, watched SmackDown, NXT, Hall of Fame, 2 nights of WrestleMania. I'm going to watch Raw tomorrow, and it just came from there. It was just for me, it was a fantastic experience. I enjoyed it. I've enjoyed getting back into wrestling, and I think maybe people just need to take a wee break from it and just enjoy for what it is, because not everything is going to be booked for the IWC on X because they say so. Not everything's going to be booked for you. Not everything's going to be booked for me. What would I like to see? I would like to see ECW be that position, and you're having barbed wire matches and people getting hit with chairs, getting cut open and that kind of stuff. Because I love all that stuff. But that's not what people want to see. The mainstream audience doesn't what they want to see. Doesn't mean it's not what they want to see. It's you have to look at marketing wise, and also let's get on to the thing as well. See the prints in the ring, the advertising, and matches being advertised by things like the Doom thing and stuff like that. There's nothing wrong with it. WWE's making money hand over fist, and will people go, it's not always about money. At the end of the day, even when Vince was there, it was always about the money. That's what it is for every business. That's what it is for AEW. Fortunately, AEW, Tony Khan's dad, has enough money that it might not have to worry as much about money. But at some point, it will get that way. With WWE, see the stickers in the ring? I don't even barely notice them. People need to stop acting as if like it takes away from whatever match is happening and stuff like that. Like it's just stop it. It doesn't take away from anything. WrestleMania was fine. It's not a must watch. I'd say there's a few matches on it that definitely would be must watch, like that triple threat main event, the triple threat women's as well, the Dominic Mysterio match, and I would say John Cena, Cody Rhodes, and there's a few others out there. But the thing is it something I'm going to add to my top 10 WrestleManias all time? No. Is it something that I spent all weekend watching and really enjoyed it? Yes. And like I say, it's brought back that standing outside a primary school and kids want to talk about it. Kids are talking about wrestling and interested about wrestling. And just people like my partner's brother is like, oh, it's great, all the old WWEs are on Netflix again. Just there's no everything, no every random wee mini pay-per-view that nobody's ever heard of is on there. I get it, right? For me, that's shit as well. I want to see that stuff. But these people that just watch the base, that's what they're enjoying. And if somebody just didn't even go into X or bother with the IWC or listen to the shit that it spouts every day about fucking wrestling, how bad everything is, instead of from looking at something that's looking at some positives in it. If you just watched that WrestleMania and then went, you know what, it was a kind of predictable WrestleMania, because it kind of was. Predictable WrestleMania. There's a few good matches in it, a few good moves, and then moved on. But no, every WrestleMania is going to be a WrestleMania 17. We look at WrestleMania 9 at the Caesar Palace thing, that didn't have really any good matches on it. And quite a lot of WrestleManias don't have great matches on them. And they don't all have fantastic match after fantastic match after fantastic match. The ones that do are the ones that we all remember. This one, unfortunately, wasn't that. And I will keep stressing on that John Cena Cody Rhodes thing. The only reason they didn't do it the exact same way they done it last year with everybody running out is it would have just been a copy and paste of what happened last year. I would have wanted The Rock come out, but you just can't have it the exact same way like that. But anyway, guys, that's my kind of rant on WrestleMania. Not really my review for it, but I kind of reviewed it, I think. Anyway, the channel, let's talk a little bit about the channel. I'm hopefully not going to trigger anybody, because last time I done one of these, last year, I got sent a message saying that somebody was going to find out where I stay and were going to come and do bad things to me. But anyway, so the channel's idea now is I'm going to be doing a lot more on TikTok. Just thoughts, highlights, reviews, talking, what I enjoyed, what I didn't enjoy, what my best matches, that kind of stuff. That'll be over on TikTok, so go follow me there as well. I think I'll need to update the link on YouTube somewhere. I do have two for some reason. One of them I don't have any access to. I don't even know how to get on it. So the second one is the one where I'll be posting stuff. Channel wise, go try and go live once a week. I hope, preferably for me, it'll be Mondays, and it'll be like Monday night time. That'll probably be the best time for me to go live. With other videos and stuff like that, might do some watch alongs and different stuff like that, especially with WWE uploading WCW content. Probably are going to do a couple of watch alongs and get them uploaded as well. But yeah, I hope you've enjoyed this review, guys. Don't forget to hit like, subscribe, and that beautiful notification bell so you know when I go live. It's been cool to be back. I hope you have enjoyed it. I've stuttered my way through this first live, but the NWC show's back. Let me know what you think about the new logo, and I will talk to you next week. Go follow me on X to see me moan about the IWC, who bitch about fucking everything, and also go follow me on TikTok, Instagram as well. I'll just be posting different stuff on Instagram, but go follow me on TikTok, where I'll be posting more videos. I'm going to create content for that later on this week. So you'll see different stuff come up. If you have any ideas that you want me to do content with, just send it to me on X, and I will think about it. Probably some point we'll get back to you if I remember. But I always enjoyed it. Don't forget to hit like and subscribe, and let me know what you thought about WrestleMania in the comments below. See you later.